All right, good evening. Hey, recently I got a chance to catch up with some of my family back in Texas. I like to call them my distant relatives. They are a little bit different, but anyway, during some conversation we had out there, I overheard somebody say, well, he sure is acting like he's got a cob in his ass. And I'm curious, so I had to ask. I was like, hey, where'd that saying come from, a cob in the ass? Somebody was nice enough to tell me, well, dear, you know, a long time ago, we used to use corn cobs to wipe our ass. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. And I went there. I was like, that doesn't make any logical sense to me that you'd use a corn cob to wipe your ass. I mean, I'm not a farmer, okay, but I've been to a cornfield. And if I had to take a shit in a cornfield, the last thing I'd be thinking was using a corn cob to wipe my ass, right? I mean, it's a farm, right? There's like thousands of things that are like flat that you could use to wipe your ass if you're in that spot, right? You know? But I got a chance to catch up with my old man, and I had to confront him on something he told me when I was about 15 years old. I'll never forget. It was like my first year of high school, and it was mandatory that we had to take this health class on sexually transmitted diseases. And we had to sit through probably the most traumatic 45 minutes of documentary on sexually transmitted diseases. So I come home, and I go through the front door, and I see my old man, and I got this look on my face. He says, what's wrong with you, son? I said, Dad, you know, we just had to go through this horrible video on sexually transmitted diseases. And he was like, did they tell you about crabs? And I was like, I don't know. I don't remember that. I was kind of in and out, you know, throwing up. And he was like, you know, you can get crabs off the toilet seat. I got crabs like that one time. And I was like, oh, damn. You know, one more thing I need at 15 years old to worry about. Now I got this shit to worry about, right? You know, so years went by, right? And it created this, like, toilet seat complex with me. I mean, every time I go and use the toilet, I was always thinking to myself, I ain't going to get them damn crabs. And I was vigilant, too. I mean, I was always looking. I mean, then I felt safe. You know, I got done. So anyway, later on, with the advent of Google, you know, I looked that up, and I looked on the CDC's website, and I was like, huh, it's very rare that anyone would ever get crabs off the toilet seat, nearly impossible. Well, I just learned some new shit, right? So I was like, one day I'm going to bring this up to my old man. So sure enough, at the dinner table. And by the way, if you're ever in the state of Texas, okay, they've got breakfast, dinner, and supper. Okay, so if anybody ever invites you to dinner, make sure you know that's lunchtime, okay? Because I almost starved to death for like the first week I was there. But anyway, so we're sitting at the dinner table, and I figured after I had to go through this god-awful complex for like so many years of my life, I figured I'd call my old man out on bullshit. So I said, hey, Dad, you remember back when I was like 15 years old, and you told me I could get crabs off the toilet seat? I found out that's not true. And he looked at me and he goes, is that right? And I was like, so Dad, how did you get crabs anyway? And he looks at me and he goes, fuck you, son. Right there in front of the whole family, it was silent. I said, hey, I know how you got crabs. You were banging some nasty ass, weren't you? So, anyway, sexually transmitted diseases, yeah, it was fun to laugh about. Sucks if you got them. But anyway, I'm clean and clean down there, trust me. But anyway, but it reminded me, I'll never forget a guy I worked with. He was cheating on his wife. And we all knew it at work, that kind of thing. Well, anyway, he happened to bring home some unfriendly visitors to his wife's female anatomy one time. She goes to the doctor, and the doctor checks her all out, and he comes back with a diagnosis, and he says, ma'am, I've got something to share with you about what's going on. And she said, oh, really? Well, what's going on? He goes, I'm afraid you're wiping the wrong way.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you what, when I heard that, man, I came home to my wife, and I told her, I was just like, hey, honey, found out Lori's been wiping the wrong way. And she was like, don't ever pull that shit on me. I was like, okay, we're good. But I had a friend with, a friend of mine that I worked with from Romania, and he told me when he first came to the States, the photon gods have spoken. But anyway, maybe next time I'll tell you about my buddy from Romania. But he came down with the bad gonorrhea. Anyway, thanks, guys.